So guys, this is the team. We have the Althar in the lead there. Just basically 3 strong poisoners that are not legendary. Of course, Frozen Banshee is legendary status in the clan boss. Kale is there just for being the free-to-play status, and Althar because he's a fantastic poisoner. There's many alternatives, and I'll go through them in separate other videos. But yeah, the main thing here about this team is having Maneater and Painkeeper. Of course, this team is gonna vary in terms of the damage dealers you want to have here. Poisoners is the easiest damage source in there when you don't have a counter attack. When you do have a counter attack, having also a weaken and a defense down gives you tons more damage, because then all the War Masters and Giant Slayers do way more damage than before. So if you don't have a counter, having a weaken and a defense down is not the same when you don't have a counter, because you don't have that many A1s coming on the boss. So your damage is of course going to be significantly reduced. So this setup does not require a counter attacker, and this does guarantee usually a 3-key Ultra Nightmare damage. So let's go in. I will explain the whole setup of the clan boss. So first up is going to be Maneater with his A3, the block damage, not block damage, the Unkillable, and the block debuffs. Yeah, that's it. Then we go with A3 with Painkeeper. She reduces the cooldown for our Maneater. We just go with our usual skills, the poison there from Althar, the poison sensitivity from our Frozen Banshee. Maneater goes in. Then we apply some more poisons with Kill. Now we're not gonna go with heal with Painkeeper. We're gonna go with her A1 for that extra bit of boost in speed. See, she needs to be healthy enough to sustain at least 2 AoEs there. A3 with Althar, A1 with Maneater, A1 with all the others. Now we do our A2, so it's gonna be the heal. Now you're gonna see, guys, that the weakest one right here is gonna be Althar. He's gonna get the stun, but this is fine. We're still gonna be healthy enough to survive. As long as our Painkeeper or our Maneater do not get stunned, then we should be okay. A good way to fix this would make Althar a bit healthier, but let's see how it goes right now. Yeah, Althar got the stun, but it's fine. We can just press auto right here and it should work as usual. So as long as Painkeeper or Maneater do not get stunned, should be fine. So we pressed auto. Poisons are applied. And boom, the AoE. See, there's no protection on Painkeeper, but we should be fine. Althar gonna get stunned again. There we go. But now the boss is gonna ramp up his damage. And the good thing is that Kel will be the one that takes the most amount of damage. We're gonna get healed now, and you're gonna see Althar's health go way more than what Kel has. So no, okay, it should be the next turn. So we're waiting for the boss to do tremendous amount of damage to his second AoE. There it is. So everyone equalizes in health, which is at 0. And now when Painkeeper heals up, Kill is going to be the lowest one in percentage. So he's going to get the stuns. And that's it. That's where basically the rotation starts, with Kill being the target always to get attacked. Of course, we miss a bit of damage there with Althar taking the hits, but it's fine. I guess you can tune a bit your health right there. So you start always with Kill having the attacks on him. But because Kill has so much health in the beginning, that is why he keeps not getting stunned until the boss starts doing a ton of damage to the team. So the idea here is manipulating Painkeeper's healing so that everyone heals up, but their percentage of health is more than the percentage of health that Kill has. So because he's slow, he will still have the Unkillable buff on him and also the block debuffs buff. So that's a very good way for you to protect that team member that always get the stun. You don't need 2 Maneaters this way, you only need 1. And this is how the team works. It goes up to turn 50, and that's when it kills itself off because of how the boss works. And this is a great free-to-play team, especially when you have just a single Maneater and a Painkeeper. You can just fit in 3 DPS characters in there, and that's gonna do the job basically. So guys, we just reached the mark for the 3 key. 24 million is the mark where you start having 3 key damage. So 24 times 3, that's 72 million. That's a 3 key team. We're reaching a bit more, 25. My highest I think was 27. I've got several screenshots of me going through with this team, so hopefully we'll get to 26. Of course, anything above 24 is great, because if anything happens and this team fails, then you can cover the distance. But yeah, this team is gonna finish at about 26. You're gonna see the boss now take turn 50, and that's gonna be over basically. So 26.3, yeah, 26.3 for, that's great amount of damage guys for a team. This is 3 key territory, of course, and an amazing team for a new player, a free-to-play player who got Painkeeper and Maneater. Of course, Frozen Banshee gives a ton of utility for this kind of setup because of the poison sensitivity. Kill is there, of course, to basically just take the stuns, but still he does a lot of damage because of his A3, and because Painkeeper reduces the cooldowns of every one of these 3, they also get their turns more in. Althar does the extra bit of damage, so you can build him just straight damage there. You don't care about survivability other than his health. The same thing with Frozen Banshee, just get more crits in there, critical damage, you can focus on that. You don't care about defense that much. So this is the team guys. So guys, before we get to the gearing of the champions, this setup was an idea from a Russian YouTuber that I found just randomly while I was on Unkillable, the website. I was looking through different champions, and I found this video guide that he did in Russian. So this is why I made this video in English. I'm trying to explain his setup, and of course I'm gonna also make follow-up videos on how to use this setup on Spirit, Force, and Magic Affinity, Ultra Dynamic Clan Boss, because this works differently on those. And of course, the bad part about this setup is that it currently does not work when the boss is at 0% health. When the boss is at 0% health, Painkeeper's AI is basically messed up, so she does not operate as she would usually operate when the boss is more than 1% health. So that's a current bug that is going to be fixed in the future, but for now, do not try to attempt this when the boss is at 0%, because it will not work, and your basically run will fail and finish at about 4 million. So it's going to be a waste of a key. Better use some other kind of team to offset your damage, or try and get your keys in way before the boss goes at 0%. Thanks a lot to Nixon for the idea. I went through his video in Russian. I do not know Russian, but I figured out how this team works, and I figured out on my own on how to make it work. Specifically on Void, Spirit, Force, and Magic Affinity. So it's a great kind of setup for a cheap version of a 3-key Unkillable team. So Maneater first guys, he is a necessity for this team. Maneater, you're gonna need 254 speed and 37,000 health. His health needs to be lower than the stun target, but higher than the other 2 DPSs, so there's no chance for him to ever get stunned when the boss decides to take a turn. He's Void, so there's no issue with Affinity ever. And then to get his damage even higher, you can go for extra critical rate, critical damage, and that's gonna help him do way more throughout the fight up until turn 50. So this is Maneater. His masteries are very basic, just War Master. I also have a Lore of Steel on him, and just basic clan boss masteries, nothing special. He even has Life Drinker in there, which benefits him in just healing up a little bit throughout the fight. Although it's an Unkillable, after the setup is complete, then he is fine to go. So War Master is basically there to get that extra bit of damage. We go to the other necessity of this team, which is Painkeeper. She's currently level 54. At level 60, she'll of course have a bit higher health, but the idea behind here, guys, is 240 speed. That's the speed that you have to use her. 51,000 health, of course, the more the merrier, because she needs to withstand 2 AoEs from the clan boss. At 1,400 defense, health is what makes her just withstand more of the damage in the first couple of turns of the clan boss. So health is important here also because of her A2 skill. So we went over speed. Her damage is just negligible here. Only through War Master I get some damage. She's got 2 speed sets on and an immortal set. So guys, another reason why you need a ton of max HP on Painkeeper is because of her A2 skill. So her A2 skill does healing based on her max HP. So these bonuses are also added to this. So it's not exactly 15%, it's a bit higher, including masteries. That's a bit higher, but still her healing is very good compared to other champions, and also her kit just decreasing the cooldowns. So her healing is what makes it possible for the clan boss to always be stunning a specific target after the setup is complete, and when the boss starts to basically do 100% of my team's health, but because of the Unkillable, they do not die. Masteries on her, guys, I went, of course, War Master again. Nothing crazy. I even went for kill streak because the final support row here is nothing crazy. I even went for some health here in the support tree. I went for some random masteries, even Lord of Steel to get that 240, and Evil Eye. There's no reason to get Evil Eye. You don't need full masteries for her. You can just go for up to War Master and you should be fine. That's the only reason basically to get War Master. If you can get 240 without Lord of Steel, then sure, go for it. But the importance here is to have that max HP more than the stun target, so that her healing is sufficient. So we went through the 2 main necessities. We go to the first DPSer, who was right next to Maneater. So it's gonna be Althar. As you can see, his gear is not even level 16 for everything. His chest isn't even leveled up at all, but that's on purpose because I was trying to build up a specific speed and health for this champion. So I wanted the champion about 30 to 32,000 health. That's a very good point for him to be in case he gets attacked in the beginning. So he actually got attacked in my video 2 times, but that was fine. He did survive, and we went on to go in with the team and do about 26 million damage. So 189 speed, so 1 speed less than the clan boss. That's great, and that's enough for us to survive and do our skills way slower than the boss. So 100% critical rate, 151 critical damage. This is needed just to get that extra bit of damage with him. Althar hits really hard with his A3, so that sure does help Althar do extra bit of damage on the boss. Althar's skill, his A2, when this reduces to 2 turns with Painkeeper, this is a crazy amount of damage. 4 poisons, 5% of the boss's health with additional poison sensitivity. This is a crazy amount of poisons, guys. And also here we've got Giant Slayer. Giant Slayer, guys, procs of Althar's A2. So this is why Althar gets over 10 million damage on the clan boss. So if you do have him, he's great in there. But of course, the DPS part of this setup will work with any DPSers. So you can use anything, not even poisons, and it will still work. Of course, the damage will not be as high. Poisoners is the easiest way to go for damage when you do not have an Unkillable. Of course, if you have a single poisoner and a vizier, you can make this even better. So always consider that in case you get a vizier in there. So Althar is there. DPS, that's his stats. Masteries, as I shown here before, he even has Lord of Steel, but his speed needs to be at 189. So next up is going to be my other DPSer, which is Frozen Banshee. It's the same exact stats almost as Althar, 32,000 health, 2.6k defense, not really needed. This is why she wasn't getting targeted by the boss. 188 speed, that's fine. You can get her to 189, it will still work. Accuracy 304, a bit of overkill. I should have went for more critical rate, for example, to get her damage a bit higher through those A1s, but still, this is the kind of setup that you want. 188 speed, 32,000 health, accuracy, enough accuracy so she will never get resisted, almost never. Her skills are of course fully maxed out, and masteries almost the same as Althar. I even have Cycle of Magic in there. That's not needed. It's not gonna mess up any rotations because this is not a counter setup. So Cycle of Magic can just give you an extra bit of benefit, getting more A3s from Banshee in there. War Master is essential to get extra bit of damage on the clan boss. So the final part of this, guys, is Kill. Kill, you can see here, I don't even have a ring in there. So I wanted Kill to have about 43,000 health. He was getting so much more health when I had an HP ring in there. I should just put an attack ring in there just to get that extra bit of damage. But yeah, this is gonna give me way more health, and that might mess up my my setup. But still, this is how Kill gets targeted. The most important thing is his speed. 124 speed ensures that Kill will be, throughout the fight, the slowest one in the team. He will always have the block debuffs and Unkillable on him when the turn for the boss to stun comes. So at 124, he will always be the stun target. After the rotation is set up, he will always be the stun target, and then he will not have the Unkillable and block debuffs removed of him, since he will be slow compared to the others who will not have any kind of protection when the stun comes. So 92% critical rate, 151% critical damage. Get that extra bit of damage through critical rate, critical damage, and accuracy to land his poisons. So overall, his sets are immortal sets. I went for critical rate, for example, here, HP percentage. The speeds here are nothing crazy because it's 124. You basically need to ensure it's 124. Get your gear without any speed on and put it on him. It's gonna work. His defense is even low. I should get this even lower. I mean, the lower it is, the better for your setup in the beginning, because the higher the defense is, it means that the AoE that the clan boss does will not take him low enough. So I mean, if you can even break the immortal sets and still get over 40,000 health, this is still gonna work. So his skills are, I think, fully maxed out. Yeah, since I have him forever. His masteries are basic, just War Master and then Lore of Steel. You can just not go for Lore of Steel if it's easier for you to get that 124. So yeah, you can just not get that. I'm actually getting just health from Lore of Steel, so it's great. I did not use a speed set to mess up my speeds. So guys, this is the team setup that is required. You can use this team and go and do the clan boss. Easy 3 keys. In the following videos that will come to the channel, and if anyone's interested, I'm gonna do versus Spirit, versus Magic, and versus Force. That needs a different setup because of the way that the clan boss works. The clan boss will not target Kill when there's a weak affinity against the boss. So if the boss is Spirit and there's a Force champion like Althar, the boss will target Althar and kill Althar. Be sure to mind the affinity of the clan boss. I'm going to show you in the following videos different kind of setups that you can use, specific poison champions or other DPS champions that can be switched out depending on affinity, so that you can do your first 2 keys on Void and then you do your 3rd key on affinity with that specific champion, and you still get a good amount of damage to get that 3 key ultra nightmare. Guys, thanks a lot for watching this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to subscribe, by the way, because I'm gonna be following up these videos in the future for the channel. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.